It's morphin' time! Special shout out to our channel members, Tomo, who joined at the Sound Squadron Commander level, and always Infinity Wartorn, who joined as the Sound Squadron Captain. You can join for as little as $1 a month to help support the channel and get cool perks. Check out the join button down below. Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to my review of the Super Complete Selection Animation D-Ark version Takato Ultimate. This is the newest Super Complete Selection Animation Digivice. I, of course, have reviewed the original 3 D-Arks, as well as the 2 Ultimate D-Scanners, so now we're ready to look at the D-Ark Ultimate. This was Takato's Digivice that he got upgraded when he unlocked Guilmon's Mega Evolution. So, there's technically spoilers for Digimon Tamers in this video. I'm going to keep them to a minimum, but as we are recreating scenes from the show, spoilers may be there. So we can see Takato here holding his Digivice and Dukemon Crimson mode on the box. You can see, it says version Ultimate. This is the first one we've gotten that's a continuation, which is kind of interesting. I kind of thought that they should have just done this one from the start as opposed to doing the red one, but they did do the red one, which I do appreciate. But of course, we will take a look at this, compare it to the original red Takato version, and then, of course, figure out which one should you get if you haven't picked up a Takato Digivice so far. Here's the D-Ark Ultimate. This was something that was kind of a surprise because I didn't know if we were going to go back and get, different models of same characters. We already got a Takato Digivice. And then I was kind of surprised that we actually got quite a bevy of new features. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video covering all 3 of the previous D-Arks, it's okay. We're going to go through all the features because this is a standalone product, not released at the same time as those others. The interesting part here is I do feel like we should have probably gotten this from the start, but since the red one is so iconic and it was just a repaint of the other 2, I guess is why they did it. Because this does have a lot more features in it. This video will be kind of a review of this, but of course we're going to have to compare it to the Takato red one because that just makes sense. They're very similar devices in a lot of their features. Also, if you happen to notice that there's like dust on the screen, these screens are like dust magnets and they'll pick up these little tiny pieces of dust that you can't get off no matter what you try. In normal lighting conditions, you can't notice them. Here on the video where I'm shooting in 4K and have a lot of bright light, it's going to be noticeable. But once the animations start on the screen, it's not as noticeable. Just something I wanted to address because it's come up with every one of these so far. It's probably my only complaint. But this, as you can see, it's got the design that you saw in the anime, still the red strap, but we now have the gold emblem with the digicode on it, and then these extra little flourishes plus the gold buttons, which is really nice. It's nice they put this out again because the original version is kind of a huge rarity. Digivices in general really go up in value after they come out. So yeah, it's just, it adds to the experience. But we got the card slash slot on this side, the speaker on this side. The battery compartment is hidden behind this panel. There is a reset button, but the reset button doesn't work like the others where if you hold it down, it resets it to as if you put the batteries in for the first time. It just would turn the Digivice on. So I don't know what's up with that. Let me know in the comments. But there is 2 AAA batteries in here already, and I do have it as if you put the batteries in for the first time. But the other thing I want to talk about is the cards, because outside of the physical differences here, the cards are a little bit different. It comes with, of course, the Champion Evolution and the Ultimate Evolution, which is the blue card. So you get those, but then you get a bunch of new cards, like the red card, King, Queen, and Knight device. You get Andromon. You get the axe thing, the wings, plug-in O, plug-in P, and plug-in T. These are all new. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new cards, 2 repeats, where all the others came with 10 cards in total, with 2 repeats between all of them. So the biggest thing is if you're one of those people that wants every single card, since they do work in all the Digivices, you're going to need both the red and the gold because the red comes with different cards. But we're going to put these aside. Let's get to the base features. I think it'd be a good idea to just kind of run through what we're looking at with the device itself. Okay, so that startup is just when you turn on for the first time after you put batteries in. Otherwise, it'll just kind of flash the screen off. If you hold the button down, it'll turn off. And then if you hold the button down, it'll turn back on. And then it'll give you a picture of Guilmon on the front as the default. So let's go through the settings menu here. So essentially the way the 4 buttons work, if you press this button, you will get access to the music tracks, which there are several music tracks and they are a little bit different. Let's go over what tracks we have inside this one before we compare it to what was included in the red version. So for songs, we have the opening, Biggest Dreamer. the card slash song slash, the evolution song Evo, the Matrix Evolution song One Vision, Dukemon specific version, the first ending My Tomorrow, the second ending Days, and the insert song Three Primary Colors. Now, in comparing the Ultimate to the original Takato Red, these songs include Biggest Dreamer. Second song is both Slash. Both of them have Evo. Both of them have One Vision. This one has the Dukemon. This one just has the regular. Then this one has the Dukemon. This doesn't have the regular. We have My Tomorrow. Track 6 is Days. Track 6 is Primary Colors, which is track 7 here. And there's only 6 tracks in here. So you get the 2 endings added from the series, whereas this had the original One Vision without the Dukemon specific version. This doesn't. Now, pressing this button will switch over to the voice lines menu. This will give you voice clips of characters. We have Takato. We have whatever Digimon is active, in this case Guilmon, but you can also do Growlmon, Megalogrowlmon, Dukemon, Dukemon Crimson mode. The Others menu, which includes Ruki, Renamon, Jianling, Terriermon, Impmon and Beelzemon, and Kulumon, plus Granny. And so that's kind of neat because you get essentially every character that has voice lines in the others, adding in Impmon and Granny. And then you also get conversations with Takato and Guilmon. So as always with my reviews of these Digivices, I will not be playing all the voice lines in the main video. There will be a video in the description below, in the link, that will give you all the voice lines if you're so inclined. There are hundreds of them, so just, you know, if you're not going to watch it, leave me a comment with a little prayer for how long it's going to take me to record all of them, but I will document every voice line in this. Now, once again, let's compare to the red version. This one also had a Takato feature, but the interesting part is that the original had 130 Takato lines. This one has 138. Going to Guilmon, the original had 127 lines. The new one, 130. And then this one had a Kulumon mode, whereas this one has the Others mode. And in terms of Kulumon, we have a 27 lines here, and we had 126 lines here. So you get a lot less Kulumon, but you get all those other characters, so that's where some of the trade-off happened. And then for Takato and Guilmon, the original had 19 conversations. This one also has 19. I assume they're the same. I won't know for sure. You'll have to compare my videos on the voice lines independently. Okay, so now if you press either the top button or the bottom button, you'll access the main menu of the Digivice. So first screen is Evolution, then Digimon Explained, then Digimon Search, then Settings. Settings is pretty straightforward. You press here to go forward, here to go back. Settings, you can display the Digimon on or off. So if you turn the Digimon display off and you go back to the main screen, nothing on that screen. But we'll turn the Digimon back on because I do like that. But you do have the option if you want to cosplay with the sounds. Card slash voice on. This will be the kid for the Digivice announcing the card that you slash. Again, you have the option there. Display brightness, you got 1, 2, and 3 is your options. I kind of stay at 2 just for filming. And then sound volume, you have 4 levels, which is pretty nice. I like that we have options like that because that doesn't always happen with Bandai stuff. So that's pretty much the settings. Let's get to the Digimon Search. It's the same as it worked in the previous Digivices. And that mostly just plays a video loop. There's no real gameplay involved. So when we get to Digimon Explained, you have a readout display that shows the Digimon. If you press the button, you get Takato describing it. If you want to hear all of those, it'll also be in the voice lines video. It'll be like one of the first segments. But the interesting part here is that you get a variation from the red one. So the red one also had this feature where it went through Guilmon, Growlmon, Megalogrowlmon, Dukemon, Renamon, Cubimon, Taomon, Sakuyamon, Terriermon, Gargomon, Rapidmon, and then Saint Gargomon. But the interesting part is that that's where these cut off on all 3 of them. But this keeps going, because see here it goes back to Guilmon. Here you get Monodramon, Cyberdramon, Justimon, Lopmon, Antilamon, Leomon, Gardramon, Marine Angemon, Impmon, Beelzemon, and Beelzemon Blast Mode, and Megidramon, and Dukemon Crimson Mode before going back to Guilmon. So there's way more Digimon Explained things here. And like I said, you press the button, Takato will explain that Digimon and their attacks and stuff. I'll have you listen to those if you'd like in that unlisted video in the link below. All right, so let's get on to evolution, because this is one of the biggest deviating factors. So there's two ways to do evolution. You can open the evolution menu and select champion, ultimates, mega, or a matrix version of the mega, and a reset if you want to reset the Digimon to its base state. But there are two special evolutions that are hidden in here, but let's go through one other feature before we get there. Because much like in the series itself, you can slash the card to activate the evolution. So now, as you can see, Guilmon is now the primary Digimon. And what's really cool is I like that it changes. There are no added features like the attack sounds that were on like the D-scanner, but it is pretty much working the same as the red one when it comes to Guilmon. Now, of course, we can go a step further to Guilmon. Okay, so now that he's Guilmon, we actually have a new feature. So on the evolution screen, if you go here, it gives you champion, ultimate, ultimate mega, matrix evolution mega, I'm getting to a point here, and Megidramon. So spoilers for Digimon Tamers. You can jump ahead to the next segment if you wish. In the series itself, Takato was forcing Guilmon to digivolve to Mega and accidentally activated Megidramon because of how forceful he was. This was a dark evolution. Now, this did not happen in the gold Digivice. He still had the red one. In fact, what happens during this causes the red to shatter and then eventually had to be reforged into the gold. I do really like this feature, and I'm glad they added it, but I do wish it was in the red one because that would be more show accurate. It's kind of like how this one can do the Dukemon evolution, even though that isn't show accurate. It's just a little minor thing, but this sequence here that they added is super, super cool. So once you press the button, so now the Digivice has been broken, the bond has been shattered, and yeah, it gives you this kind of fake broken glass look. Don't worry, it actually hasn't broken, the screen's fine. You can't do anything with the Digivice at this point. If you try to press any of these buttons, it's just gonna have Takato pleading with his Digimon to stop being a giant rage monster. So this feature is super cool. There's a bunch more lines in here. Once again, I will put those in the voice lines video. But yeah, it pretty much renders the Digivice inoperable. You can reset it though by holding down the power button. And then turning it back on, everything will be back to normal. And there we go. So everything's back to normal now, and Guilmon can go back to living his best life. So you can't get lines from Megidramon, which I imagine would just be roars and angry screams anyways, but it is really cool. And you can only access that when he is Guilmon, because if you try to do it from here, it isn't given as an option when he's just Guilmon, which I think is super cool. I like the specific usage there. Now, of course, there is one more evolution, which is his Mega Evolution. It is slightly different between the Mega and the Matrix Evolution Mega. So you can go check the previous video to see the differences. But basically the shining crest symbol for Guilmon shows up on one but not the other. But we're going to do the Matrix for this video. And now we have Guilmon's Mega Evolution, Dukemon. Now with that, we do have a new feature. Much like with Megidramon having the option to go to Megidramon, you have a new option appearing on the menu for Dukemon Crimson Mode. Okay, so now we've gotten to Dukemon Crimson Mode. You can see he's now the primary on the screen, and that also means we have unlocked voice lines for him. You know, I'm impressed there's 33 lines for Dukemon Crimson Mode, considering he was only in one episode in a movie. But anyways, we do have that. So that's kind of the new evolutions brought forth. Now, that is not all the new stuff. Like I said, there's a bunch of new cards. Okay, so when we're talking about the new cards included with the D-Ark Ultimate, the red card is by far the most interesting, because this doesn't really do much in the Ultimate, but it really does stuff in the other three. This is where having all of them actually does have one little benefit, and I do appreciate the cross-compatibility. It's kind of like when you have both D-scanners, you get that special Soundout evolution. This is similar, but with a card. And this also means this was the plan from the start. They programmed all of these with this card intact. So what we're gonna have to do here is get all these turned on and go through and scan the card in each, because it will actually do stuff differently in each of them. So of course we're gonna start with the D-Ark Ultimate, then we'll go through Takato, Ruki, and Jian. So as you can hear, they added a voice line when you use the red card. And then if you go to the music menu, they've unlocked a 7th track, which is the One Vision Dukemon version that plays during his evolution, but now you can actually access it from the music menu, which is kind of a crazy little bonus feature. And the same goes for the other two. So that's kind of neat that you get an extra music track for each of these, but it's kind of funny. It doesn't really do much in the actual one it comes with. In general, I think it's kind of a neat feature to have, because it does give you reason to have all of them, but, it's not going to be that consequential for most people, but it's kind of a neat little feature. So now in terms of the rest of the cards, I haven't tested these in all the devices, but I need to film it anyways. So if there is any unique lines or unique features that come up in the other three when these cards are used, I will include those. Otherwise, we're just going to see what these cards do in the Ultimate. So pretty much across all four of the devices, these 9 cards make the same sound, just the character shouting out the name of the card. Sometimes a little bit of sound effects, no extra bonuses there. I will, of course, test all the cards that came with the other 3 devices in the D-Ark Ultimate in that voice lines video in the link below. So what's the ultimate question with the Ultimate D-Ark? Do you need this if you have this? I would say yes. There are so many more features added. Well, here's the thing. I should preface this. There are a lot more voice lines and a lot more character encyclopedia entries, but only 2 new evolutions. So if you're just in it for the evolutions and you already have the red one, you're probably good unless you really love Megidramon and Crimson mode. But if you're looking for overall, bang for your buck features, this has a lot more voice lines, a lot more character encyclopedia entries, and even more music. It's definitely better, I think, overall than this one. This one was weird. I kind of, what I would have done to make this oh, you got to get both. This would have had Megidramon and this would have had Dukemon and Crimson mode. That would have been more accurate too, but that's just the way they did it. If you haven't bought a Takato Digivice, absolutely go with the Ultimate. Don't even, this does have more Guilmon lines, sure, but it's the same Guilmons that are in the Gian and Rookie ones, so do you really need them? And then adding to that, the question of, do you need the cards? I would say not really. I mean, the important cards are in all of them, the 2 evolution cards, and this one's got the red card, which is cool. This one does have a voice line for that red card that's not in this one, but again, if you don't care about voice lines, it's not really a big deal. I think overall, if you're trying to decide which one's more worth the money, especially with the aftermarket prices, it's going to be the Ultimate. It just has more to it in the base package, and it kind of feels like a more well-rounded experience. In fact, if you wanted to do Ultimate, and then do Gian, and then Rookie as your collection, honestly, that's not a bad play. Sure, you miss out on, 8 cards from this one. Otherwise, you're pretty complete evolution-wise with the main 3 characters. So will we see more D-Arks beyond this? I'm not exactly sure. The D-Ark Ultimate does make sense to make. It makes sense to make the regular for Takato because they already had the mold with these 2. Yeah, we could see more D-Arks. So there's at least 6 more they could make, but none of those have actual evolution scenes. Now, that being said, there wasn't stock footage animation for Megidramon and Dukemon Crimson mode, and they made that work here, so you could do something like that for Beelzemon Blast mode or Justamon or whatnot. But, Justamon kind of just evolves off screen most times. So it would be interesting to see if they did do more D-Arks, but this kind of does cover it. And in general, I think we got pretty much most, if not all, the main cards covered as well, so it does kind of feel like the end of the road for the D-Arks. But the Ultimate D-Ark, if you are just going to buy one of these, the Ultimate's the way to go. It just has the most features, and it has all the character voices in it. So it just all depends on your personal preferences. For me, I like having all of them, especially having all the cards and everything, you know, completionist kind of thing going on. I love my Digimon. But of course, I would buy 5 more of these, or 6 more of these if they made them, because I am kind of crazy like that. But in general, I think out of all of them, the Ultimate is probably your best value because of how many more features they added. But of course, you're going to want to pick your favorite character of the 3 because that's the one's going to make you the most happy. Or you're crazy and go for all of them. That's the end of the speech, the conclusion, the thoughts. And that's pretty much the end of the video as well. So now I know I mentioned it in a title card, but this is a premium Bandai exclusive like the others. While there may be stock appearing on premium Bandai US like the others, that's not a guarantee, so I would say start seeking out your favorite middleman if you are looking for this. And if you live outside the US, of course, you're not really going to have too many options unless you have a P Bandai. I do say it's worth it if you are looking into it and wondering, should I get this? It does feel like it's worth the price. It does feel kind of funny, this coming out after the D-scanners and after the previews for the D3s, because those have evolved the tech a little bit further, but I think they added a lot of cool features to make this a worthwhile experience regardless. So, wish you the best of luck hunting it down. I do definitely enjoy it, and I would recommend it if you are out there looking for a D-Ark Ultimate in the complete selection animation style. So on that note, that says it for the end of the video. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button so it can spread around and share to more people. Leave a comment down below with any questions, comments, and tell me if you think they should make the other 6 D-Arks, or which ones of the other 6 do you think they should make. I feel like we should get Rio. We have the red card, and he did use that, so it kind of would make some sense. Also, be sure to hit subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on future Digimon videos, including the upcoming D3s. Plus, check out the channel memberships in the join button down below if you want to help support the channel directly and get some cool perks like early access to select videos. Also, be sure to check out our Discord server in the link below. Our live streams here on the channel Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can find me on social media if you like at Soundout12. You can find my awesome graphic designer on social media and Discord at DarkClaw643 and Hero Club at hero-club.com for news, interviews, reviews, and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.